just so that I don't sit down and forget that this is on later. Just in case. I don't want to unmonetize things in that. Okay. So I'm going to go set myself up over there. And I think I've got everything else I need over there. Oh, the only thing I don't have is this. And I should have maybe looked at it a bit closer. And I don't know if I want to bring that or not. If somebody asks about Christmas, I'll say, yes, it's a holiday. I see some nice sunlight coming through here right now. Yeah, I don't know why G prefers to use the piano bench other than that it is specifically the piano bench. So I don't know if it's just that he feels like it's right to use it instead of a chair, but my back feels it's right to not. So I'll use it as a place to lean my laptop or to put my laptop. The laptop of greatness, where all great podcasts start. Oh, I'm noticing that I should have but I don't. Oh, there's some really nice sunbeams right here. I should have, I don't remember. I don't remember. So I won't say. Okay, here we go. We're just getting set up here. Got somebody here. Welcome. Alrighty. Chat's on. Let's do this. Oh, the other thing I want to remember to do, because it's a new habit that I'm getting into, is just put the description of the video in the comments area and then also pin it, just because some people are finding these while scrolling, and what I've noticed when I do the scrolling thing is that it doesn't always, it's just a smidgen too long. So let me see what I can do about that. It doesn't always show the title. Like it'll show the poster's name, show the video, obviously, and it'll show the chat. And I only know how to do this on the cell phone anyway. But hope everybody is doing good. By the way, I've been rolling for about a couple minutes. Don't be shy. I hope you will end up liking, subscribing. Say, join the chat if you'd like. And yeah, I like to sometimes ask if people have been here before, how they've came across the channel. So I'm just, like I say, getting this ready to kind of put in. And if you're one of those that was scrolling and didn't see it, well, then you're about to see it for the first time in a minute. And then it also keeps it in mind for me too, just in case I get distracted or forget anything, because I do my best not to. But I do have, anyway. So yeah, I'm just maybe I'll just do it in 2 comments. I think that's what I'll do. Well, or maybe I'll just quickly mention this one thing now. And it kind of connects with one of the topics, actually. So work streams. That's a really interesting bit of sunlight, eh? It is sunny out today, and it's coming right through the front door window. But it doesn't seem like you mind, and I think it looks kind of cool, so that's cool. Anyway, I know a couple people at least that do work streams. One of them is a cafe owner, and the other one is a hairdresser or barber, whatever you choose, whatever you wish to call them. And I had a thought. I mean, I think they both try to do the right thing. They actually are both. They both are the only person working in their shop. Like they both own their business. That the barber, I mean, not talk too much about him, but I ain't saying anything bad either. It owns the business that his grandmother started in the 70s. He must be close to my age, I'm thinking. I thought he was maybe a bit older. I don't know. some reason I feel like the glasses make it a little bit hard to tell. I don't know why, but which reminds me, I also kind of thought about talking about something about fashion, um, and like how we express ourselves. Just really quickly, not related to either of those two things those two people that I know of, but I just had a thought, and I don't want to offend anybody with it at all. It's never my desire. But and I'm also going to start looking through this music book so I can line up a song, and you're welcome to request some as well. Didn't know where this book was for ages. I mean, we have a lot of music books and a lot of stuff, and I found it. I found three favorites, although the one has a song in it that I'm a little bit mixed about. We could talk about that if you'd like. I thought this would still be hot, but it might not be. It's not. So I will say a bit more, finish my train of thought, and then maybe either heat this up or don't drink more of it. I had it was really good. I make the coffee the same way all the time, but it doesn't always taste as good as it does sometimes. It's kind of, I don't know. I think it's the sugar ratio. I don't know. I just kind of, I do it to taste, and I it's probably where I get most of my sugar, to be honest. Anywho, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so just a couple of quick things, and then you can see the comment I put there with the other topics. But one of them is that it's interesting that females can wear a hat and like flannel or whatever, and nothing's really thought of it, whereas some people, okay, both that. Some people, if a guy dresses feminine, I mean, it's better these days, I think. But people have stronger opinions. I thought, what would make a feminine chick, a female, seem masculine? Because, like I say, I don't think a hat and flannel would be the answer. And the only thing I could think of is arm sleeve tattoos. I mean, or drawn on like facial hair. I don't know. I mean, other than that, yeah, I was going to mention that, and I wasn't sure. But again, I'm not trying to be mean or anything when I mention this. It's an interesting thing to think about, right? And how how the people, how people look at those kind of societal expectations, whatever you want to call it. But anywho, the other thing that I was going to say, kind of back on the previous topic, is, I don't know. I'd have to add more sugar. I know I've already had. I think I'm actually pretty good with the coffee. It's early. I like the vibe, the coziness, and the drinking of the coffee, but I don't think I need to. But yeah. So anyway, these two people, they own their own. They don't, when they don't have, like, for one, when he doesn't have booked appointments, after he's done his cleanup, which if he's been at the job a long time, he probably goes and he probably does it pretty quickly. It is a job that requires some, for sure, some more than others maybe, but then he gets bored probably, right? So in fact, he could be tuning in very soon, because that was kind of the funny thing. Like he has said that he doesn't include kids in it except for his brother's son or whatever. But it was funny because one I had missed, but I kind of looked back in the video a little bit, and then the other, like just for a moment, and then the other one walked in while I was watching, and they both had such short hair. I mean, I've always kind of been a fan of longer hair myself, but it's like, I mean, they were chatting this and that, and I feel like I saw the guy in the chair for about 5 to almost 10 minutes, and there were some people watching, but I couldn't imagine he'd be there much longer than that, unless he's like planning to go down to Sculpt, because yeah, I mean, I don't, my grandpa used to do that too. He had fairly, I mean, he didn't go balding, but he had not thick hair, compared to me, and kind of my mother, and well, my dad wasn't a biological relative to him, but and and even our neighbor, actually, the one neighbor. I know that they go for. I mean, for him, it's kind of an excuse to get out of the house because he's elderly and struggles with that. I'm not elderly and sometimes struggle with it. I mean, have you noticed I'm not elderly? I'm not very old. Anywho, um, yeah, nobody was here to hear that. They might never know otherwise, you know. But um, here we have somebody here. I don't know if it's Mama Gina. Um, but I'm just letting somebody know that she's not my mama either. Okay, well, but even still, that wouldn't tell anybody anything. But yeah, so yeah, it well, it tells them that she's not my mama, but she could be like my mama. Anywho, um, I just realized that I kind of said what I'm kind of doing in this video, and it's in some ways what I kind of do in a lot of the videos, but I didn't specify that I was rolling. Now her kids are in school, and she's still learning how to navigate around YouTube. I don't know, something that I do without even, well, I do with thought, but I'm doing it for years, you know. Not so much, I mean, well, I've been doing that for a long time too, but more so watching even live streams and getting into the community. That's something that's still a little bit newer to me. I mean, I used to just watch already posted videos, TV shows, uh, comedy things, music videos, cover versions of songs, and I'm going to do some of those. But yeah, so anyway, I don't understand people that have short hair going and paying for a haircut. I mean, like the one guy, he was older though. It's true. So I mean, and I mean, if you can't do it in a mirror very well, you can't do it yourself. Then I guess maybe if he's a regular, he gets a discount, or maybe it's not that expensive anyway. Seems like this guy probably charges pretty fairly. He doesn't have employees to pay, so he said he's had some, but yeah, and he said somebody else was content too, but it was nice what they did. So, but it looks like I just missed my friend. She said that she's quite busy and got a lot going on, but I thought she might come in for a bit of comedy relief and oh, she's back. Music and healing. She said agreed. I'm saying, AKA I'm rolling, AKA get here, AKA nobody else is here right now, and it's like 13. But anywho, so yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious if you've seen anybody else do work streams. And there was another guy that I followed for a bit. Good singer, model. Worked at some sort of packaging company. It seemed like he was using a tape roller a lot, and I didn't really care for the sound of it. But there was something I saw on his channel. I mean, every now and then you can think, okay, it's just a misunderstanding or it's not for me. But I guess I was a little bit, I don't want to say disturbed, but oh. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm curious if what other ones anybody else has came across or any other interesting podcasts in general. Really saw one the other day. I really wanted. In fact, I had clicked sub, and then the other one he said something. Yeah, absolutely. And they also weren't. even though they said they were about love, they didn't clarify one thing. And I said, make sure to laugh and smile are usually best at the same time. Yeah, because I don't think you could frown a lot. That'd be weird. It was weird, wasn't it? Yep. Oh, baby. So yeah, what was I saying? How was I saying it? So the dog knows I'm home, but that's okay because he knows that it's not in the way then. And I really it was that little thing that we have, that thing that we have in front of us. I almost had a hard time balancing because I had the laptop in my hand and something else I think in my hand. And she wasn't paying attention, but then I got it. But sometimes I'll step. It's really to keep him from going up there and getting into things while I'm, um, you know, or going up there when he doesn't need to be up there because he's up there, quite a bit as it is. And he still has a bit of puppy tendencies too. So actually, yeah, he's not going to get into anything. But yeah, so it's okay. He's not making noise, and he hasn't been up there that much longer before I started. So he's content. He might wonder why he's in there when I'm doing this. But another thing too is he could be noisy, and I could give him a chew stick, but he might decide he doesn't want it, and then sometimes he's very good. I did my Guinness record long podcast the other day. Watch as much as you can if you'd like, but maybe this one will be too. Who knows? And the latter half, I did have him downstairs, and he was laying nicely, so that was good. There is something else that sort of makes me want to go briefly upstairs, aside from the fact that nobody's here right now, but I kind of just want to anyway. It's actually a bit more of a quick need to do. So I'm going to put here at the 17, by the time I get this, 50 mark away from the screen. And yes, I did get it before I came here, but then sometimes it doesn't really take real long. And that's what I worry about when having hi Mina. Woo! When having almost everything chat. When having if I was to have a show in a theater thing. So I'm just looking at another thing on my device at the moment, so my eyes might be looking a little funnier than usual. I've been told I have angelic eyes or Jesus-like eyes, so but whatever you think, I just hope you like them. That's all I hope you idolize them. I hope they mesmerize. Yeah, that is really quite the ball of light here, there, eh? I guess, do I not usually podcast in this room at this time? Maybe not. Maybe not. I often start on the couch, and maybe by the time I get out here, it's kind of close to the side of the house. It's kind of cool. It's almost like a big salt lamp or some sort of heavenly something. There was a video I did the other day. I think it was near the latter part. It actually is a thumbnail. It's just the thumbnail that it picked, probably because it was the latter part. And there was some interesting shapes on the wall. The light was off, but there was a light on in the room next to it that open concept essentially. And I think maybe one of the other rooms kind of nearby. And it didn't seem like it was that dark on the screen, but there was some interesting things. Okay, I said 1750. Under 5 minutes, and we're already like 3 minutes past that, so I better get moving a little bit here. Trying to be accurate. That's out of the yeah, I'm surprised I never thought of that phrase before. Definitely very, 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 very much so. Here I come, do-do-do-do. Here I come to bang a drum, do-do-do-do. I actually do have this seat facing the other way, but I think I prefer it, the bench that this is on. I think I prefer it. I'm not sure. It's just as much, the books take up as much space as they take up, and then there's as much space after that. So yes, I do need to, while I'm talking, I'm going to open this. Because actually, I'm also remembering that I'm kind of waiting for a delivery. We don't drive, but we haven't for a long time. I've been living with G for 8 years, I think, about almost 8 years. And we don't drive. And honestly, we started during the pandemic, getting it delivered. And, sometimes there's a lot to carry anyway, so it works. And there was 2 items. It makes me think of a bit of a joke, but it's otherwise kind of odd, really. There were 2 items from 2 different shippers that weren't what it started out with, that are going to be coming separately from our order. I managed this morning on the breakfast, and it would have been really nice to have the items, and it was something I really hadn't tried before. But they didn't come with the rest of the stuff. We're not sure why. Never. And one thing I'd like to do, and hopefully I would get an answer if I see them, and I, so sitting by the door here is pretty good. For hopefully noticing, I could say, what is this about? Because they won't think maybe it's wonder. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why. Anywho, what's it saying? I was saying it. I'm surprised it doesn't feel cooler in here with that open. That's what I'm saying. That's how I'm saying it. Oh, thanks for the like. Oh, and you brought a friend. Just kidding. There's 2 of you here. I hope you both end up liking. I know one of you did. So yes, I kind of said a little bit of some of my thoughts. I may have trailed off from a couple of them, and anybody that sees this afterwards, sorry about that. You can always mention it in the comment, and then I can try and get back to what I was saying. Thanks for all the hearts, by the way, and I think I saw a couple smileys in there. Don't be shy in the comments. I would love to know who they're coming from, and if I'm familiar with you or if we're yet to meet. Other than that, so I wanted to talk about, as you can probably see in the chat, but just in case it doesn't, you're reading it and not making sense of it for whatever reason. Although watching these live streams and seeing people process what you're writing in video as opposed to just sending it and waiting for a reply, in a message or whatever. It's interesting to most people seem to understand what I'm saying, but I've also had times in my life where people don't. But see, that's not unusual. We're never going to understand what somebody writes or whatever all the time, or says all the time. Sometimes we'll need clarification. So, anywho, what it says, though, is the beauty and complexities of living. It's supposed to say of living, but I know that I already had to take a few words off of that to get it to fit in the comments. So, and how did I come up with that thought? I don't know. With that example, it was just something that came into my head. I'm not really sure why, and I thought, it might be interesting to talk about it. Then I also have a mention there about my next guest. I don't want to get too excited too soon or anything, but I don't, chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. He pretty much brought it up himself. But there is kind of a reason maybe why he did. I had discovered him, and not long after I discovered him, for whatever reason, I decided to suggest And it was a little bit on the spot. It's true, and I'm doing this on a laptop, so I'm not even sure how to do it on here. Just looking at some of the icons at the side. I know I'd do it on a cell phone, but that has his video up actually because although I maybe don't need to keep it up because I sent a message to him and kind of reminded us of some of the topics. But I had actually came in onto his video. Well, both musical. He hasn't been playing as long, and he's got a very gentle style. And it's not that I don't, but I can be very powerful when I do music too. Like it's not that. Again, I don't want to say that he's not talented because he is. But I go by kind of how the song is, but every now and then I kind of fusion it up a little bit. But I've been doing music all my life, so I wouldn't. Yeah, again, it depends on the song, but I mostly wouldn't consider myself to be gentle and delicate with my song delivery most of the time. Although he's doing a lot of pop stuff, and I guess that's kind of anyway. Point of the matter being, so he brought me in once, and I did something on the piano, and it was pretty enjoyed the whole experience. So I think that's kind of what he was suggesting initially, but then he said he's flexible and happy to talk about anything that we might desire to talk about. And so what it sounds like it's going to be about, I'm not sure. I'd mentioned also another guest. I actually met someone else with that name in his YouTube name. If he's told me since, and if he's watching now, I haven't looked at the notification since my asking. But there's a guy. Okay, both of you are here for a while. It looks like you left. Maybe you didn't, but anyway, there's a guy. Oh, cool. Who is an original songwriter, and he's decided that he's not sure if he maybe wants to work on a music project before he releases the music. And I think he only posts on Mondays, and I was kind of watching while doing something else online. I can't remember what at the moment. I know it was on YouTube. Maybe even been streaming. It was either streaming or watching, right? Anywho, and I never seen his video pop up, so I don't know. But this other guy doesn't really watch him. He says so. It's not just me; he doesn't watch. But I don't mind being there. I mean, again, I don't want to say musically he's terrible, but some people probably would. So I think we'll stay mostly away from doing music together because I just don't know. But he's got some good tastes in music, that's for sure. I've heard some of the songs he does multiple times, but he's really but I still don't have bad feelings about him. It's just that community kind of got a little. It was unfortunate, but I'm still gonna make sure that doesn't happen in mine. So what I kind of was mentioning to him is, or what kind of came up is possibly topics of travel. He's kind of living a bit like, I guess, what you could call a gypsy. I heard of it, the vanilla gypsies. I was like, I didn't think that was a thing. Anyway, a gypsy, and he travels around a lot. I'm worried a little bit about the time zone, but if he's willing to stay up late one night, I don't know how he manages. I think he's the one that also does filmmaking and does film projects, and maybe he plays the occasional music gig, and that's his work, from what I understand. For being a guest, but if you or anyone you know would like to be, nobody's watching this at the moment, but afterwards, I guess that'd be cool. But yeah, so basically, he last I talked to him, he was in India. He'd been mentioning going to Japan. He did the time difference conversion very quickly. He was an hour off, I think, but close. It does seem like he's staying with family, though. So, and I thought he was from Sri Lanka, or is that is that just Tara, who I haven't seen in a few days either. Um, but anywho, the point of the matter being is, I know that he's staying with family right now, so he might be, and I don't know how often he does that, so he might be there for a bit longer. So yeah, I mean, hoping we can work through our time zone differences and so travel, um, um, self discovery, and how these connect and how they're just their own topics. Fashion maybe, and he doesn't sound like he's wanting to just pick one topic, which is good because I often am not that way anyway. Can you tell? And what was the other one? Fitness and lifestyle. So it was funny actually because you know again, not really saying anything bad, but it was funny, so I'll say it even though there's nobody here to hear it. Um, yeah, again, remembering that there'd be people afterwards, and I'm looking through music books anyway. So, um, um, anywho, what was I saying? Yeah, what can you do? I guess they can't all, right? What was that? Go back. Go back, please, and thank you. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, just in case. I don't want to say anything. Okay, now it doesn't show that. Powerful face shout. But shows that, and it shows that. Trauma release leaving the body, extreme. I forgive husband for leaving. What? Anyway, um, so yeah, basically, what was I saying? Uh, I don't know. I think I said as much as I'm going to about that for now, and I hope it happens soon. And I'm definitely going to wing it to a large extent, as I sometimes do, but I'll maybe think of some questions because that's fun too. Um, so stay tuned for that. Can't say when, but hopefully before the end of the month, I'm hoping. Now, in his culture, not to think too much of A&B or anything, but in his culture, um, Christmas isn't largely celebrated. They have an equivalent. Um, they have an equivalent. Oh, it's kind of funny because he plays that song. Well, maybe he do. Maybe we'll do that song when they do it. But they have, but they don't really celebrate it. So it's not like he's going to be super busy and distracted because of that. And even people that kind of do celebrate it, it can vary. Now, um, I hate to leave before there's much conversation happening. I mean, 34 minutes should be plenty of time for it, um, but I'm also going to say at 35, mark am away for. There's been other videos that are long. I have a couple of timestamps too, but I don't always remember putting them in the comments. I guess I just figure it's more for the people that are live, but it can be for the people that aren't too. From It's not quite this time. I'm about a minute early, or a little under a minute, but Benji come in. I apologize, but there's not a lot of stone. I'll see the cut off and under area. Or I don't know his first name, but oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so yeah, what's his name before I left? Or was just a minute. I don't know. What was I saying before I left? I know I was thinking some things. When I went upstairs. Um, I don't remember what this. Oh, I can't edit it. Okay, then I'm gonna. And by the way, I do have, edit your own content. You don't have to do anybody else's, right? I'm sure you have lots of great ideas as well. I'm just quickly editing or re-adding the just for those that are scrolling through the live streams and not seeing the title. I had and maybe at the end of the comment, which is essentially the title, just so you can see it there if you don't otherwise. And I don't remember what the end maybe was about. And let's find out together. So, but yes, one of the things that is in there though is I don't know. Is there something that jumps out most to you? Yeah, it's a white background now. Later, in the other one, I thought it was a black background with white text, kind of like the other ones are. Anywho, we've got topics of rejection, success, patience, and I'm also going to do some music. I know that with that one topic, I have a couple things in mind. I mean, it's a general topic, but I have a couple things in mind. And I was talking a little bit with somebody about it last night, but I feel like we didn't strongly focus on those two things, or not as much as maybe I would like to. And it's something that a lot of us relate to, fears of rejection or feeling, but then, those same people, including myself, also don't experience it. So that's nice too. Sometimes it's not balanced, as far as that goes, and that's unfortunate. But and kind of how it connects to success, but also just in general. And then, topic of like patience and how it can be hard to be patient sometimes. And she made the joke about the doctor has a lot of patients that get impatient or something like that. I can't remember. Anywho, I'm hesitant to mention the one thing because this is the thing. You never know who's going to be watching. And it can be a small world on YouTube sometimes. And it's more so that I just don't want to shoot myself in the foot in a couple of opportunities, I guess, for lack of a different phrase. But basically, I'd love to have a performance piece, a show in a theater festival. It wouldn't be like necessarily a musical, but there'd probably be music in it. And like I have some health issues, and one of the things I've been dealing with for at least a couple of years, but and I'm glad to have the two people here right now. The 2 likes were already there, I think. So feel free to like, subscribe, and comment is welcome. Comments are welcome, rather, as long as they're kind. But yeah, I mean, if I can be in like watching a show, not at home, watching a show for an hour without having, too much distractions with my health, then I should be able to be in something, but there's I don't know if I want to get super specific about that or not. Basically, it's a whole bunch of shows that the festival picks. They randomly draw them. I don't I don't mind random. I'm very random, but as far as being picked, I either I guess I'm saying I want or need a guarantee in it. It's a dream I've had for a while to be in this festival, um, to have a performance. Um, I guess it's just like it doesn't feel certain enough. That's what I think it is, and so it's like it's holding me back from even trying. Anybody relate to this kind of thing? In a different but similar way. I'm sure some people do. Um, so like last night, I was sharing that with someone, and she seemed to understand. They seemed to understand what I was saying, and maybe kind of. What was also interesting is that something had came up about. I think it was more so on the patience piece, but I'm not really remembering how it connected. But basically, about how you can have a job but not feel fulfilled in it. So then you look for other things, hobbies, volunteering, whatever, to kind of fill that. And that's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Um, but it's just interesting. I mean, how similar but different people can be because, like, I have been through long spells of unemployment and not feeling of purpose. Um, but sometimes, yeah, if you're not in the right job fit, you can feel those things too. I mean, it's kind of yeah, and so that's one thing that I'm happy to try and help people with. Is if they feel like they either don't have, if they actually don't have work, or they're not working in a job that they love, or they do love the job, but there's some aspects of it that they don't like, kind of career coaching kind of thing. Happy to be there for you in that. Life coaching in general. I mean, and what else? Like I say, also music. Um, and I'm also going to keep watching for a message back from that guy I was mentioning having on the show, just in case he confirms something before he goes to bed. But yeah, he sounded very. It's interesting because he kind of comes across a little bit shy, but I guess he's not. So, no, again, I think he's just a very gentle personality. Um, so now, I have a song sitting in front of me that I'm wondering about doing. It's from a movie. It almost kind of could connect to the holidays in a way, but it's not a holiday movie. I'd almost forgotten it was Disney, actually. I'm just not too sure how much I'm feeling it. Um, Depending on how much I choose to do from this book, I might look at that other book. And as far as this phone call I want to make later, I think maybe I want to look at that book I was playing from the other day, and maybe one or two other ones. And I don't doubt that I can do some Christmas music at a Christmas party, and I'm sure I could put together a bit of a set list to do it. I'm not really going to that many Christmas parties, so hopefully the thing that I am going to will let me do it. And part of me wants to get that yes, right away as soon as I can without having to wait for it. And the other part of me is, I guess, thinking, no, there's still time, and I want to put it off because I don't know the response I'll get. I'm just gonna get a bit of water from the fridge to top this one off with. But some of these things I'm talking about, though, I will say that I am glad that I have the YouTube and the YouTube community, and we got two of you here now. Welcome. One of you was already here, I think, but it really, it's nice. I can come here, do music. I can come here and offer the things that I offer, in a support type of mode. So I'm just pouring this. I don't know if I should have done it the other way around, but yeah, the get a lot of stuff over here. And I can do the music. So and whether it's for free or by donation. It's but sometimes it's slower than other times. I mean, because there's a lot on YouTube, and algorithms don't always work out. But yeah, building a community, building a YouTube community is definitely a helpful thing. Um, you know, I'm glad you guys aren't minding this interesting light ball that's behind me right now, bouncing off that window. I guess the sun will be at the side of the house pretty soon, probably. But yeah, it's like yesterday I had 2 or 3 people that I've seen in videos on mine in the comments, and one that I'd known about for, well, one just 2 days, one maybe 2 weeks, and one during. I was upstairs briefly with my other device, and I was already had it up to be scrolling live streams, and I commented his, and then he wasn't here for very long when he came into mine, but he came and said hi. Then he said he had to go eat. I said, well, you can eat and listen. I mean, that works beautifully as far as I feel, but it's all good. It's all good. And some people subscribe, but it's like hidden encryption. So I think they have, but anyway, I also try and cater it to the viewers. I mean, I'm very diverse as it is, and ADHD and all that stuff. But if there's something that you guys would like to talk about, or I don't want that word "guys" to be misconstrued. In fact, that individual, I think, used it, and it can be just a collective word about like people in general. But to those that are watching, the 2 that are right now, like I say, I think the likes are already there, so appreciate it if you like and subscribe. If there's anything you'd like to talk about, if there's anything you'd like support about, put her in the chat. We'd be happy to look at it. I really liked, I suppose it wasn't more popular, but not that my aim was for it to be popular, but I really liked how the other day, and then I'll shut up and let you do so, because I realize it might be hard to focus on both, especially if you don't have ADHD or it's just something you struggle with. But when I was kind of reminded of how open I am to chatting with people, for the most part. And so I won't ignore if you comment. What's up, bud? Just stopping in while I have a minute. I think you've been here for a few minutes, eh? The other person left, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you said something. Yeah, that guy, client that you had there, he didn't have much hair to do much with. I don't know why people don't like long hair. I mean, I personally do, on either gender, personally. I mean, under this hat, I sort of have long hair, not as long as it used to be. And I always have it back because I do have the beard, and like I don't like to sleep with it. Yeah, because and I have tactile Asperger's a little bit, but I like the concept of having long hair, so I do. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for stopping by. They don't like long hair to support. Right, yeah. Well, you can stylize long hair, and that's fine too. In fact, I saw somebody post in a community group, and they were asking for suggestions of somebody who can specialize with thin hair. I'm thinking, comb it? Well, I mean, what else can you do with it? But yes, I mean, I don't live local to you, and I wouldn't want to be, or would I? I don't know. I wouldn't want to be touching people's heads all the time, and then doing the wrong thing and them being mad. Actually, when I was young, I like the spot, man. The art's cool. This, you mean? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Thanks. I guess it's not where I was when you saw the other day. What was I saying? By the way, Cassidy, I mean, maybe just 18, 19, early 20s, but not bad looking. Just saying. I haven't watched any content yet because I was getting ready to do this. There was some. Oh, right. When I was young, I actually had what I called a rat tail. Why I called it that? It's not necessarily a nice thing to call it, but whatever. I did, and I loved it. And I went to, I think, someone who I'd been to a few times. Like my cousin did haircutting for a while, but she had a hard time finding the right job for her. And she did do that for a while, but she was just a clumsy individual anyway. And I don't know. I don't think I, well, I didn't go for haircuts that often, really. But anyway, yeah, I was just mentioning that, but not in depth. Anyway, basically, body work, as you say, body works. Anywho, I thought that I had told the guy, don't cut this. And I don't know if it was intentional or just kind of like was holding on to it, because it was there and snipped and oops, once it's done, it's like, oh, I can't remember. I was a kid, like I say, but it was kind of like, I either noticed first or he did. And it was like, ah, luckily it came back. I've had some interesting experiences with my hair. If I'm to be very honest, we have three of you here. I don't know. We have three of you here, and I'm going to get to some music soon. But I mean, there are some white people out there that have. Hi, Robin. How are you? Have dreadlocks. Those are usually mixed race people, and it's not that I'm not, but I'm not of a culture that normally would have that. However, I have been in times in my life, and remember to like if you haven't. I know that you guys are enjoying being here. I've been through times in my life where I've been in a stagnant rut, as far as success. And when I'm home a lot, sometimes I don't really, and I hope this won't come across weird. Thanks for the like. Sometimes I'm not showering, and then I wear this hat, and sometimes what I'll do, like when I'm sleeping, is like the parts that get kind of loosey goosey at the side, I'll tuck them in to the ponytail or whatever. And so I've had kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, Rasta-ish hair at times, unintentionally. It just kind of clumps. Yeah, so I had to cut a big one off a while back. Anyway, like I say, sometimes I'm a little bit of everything, but I'm not as weird as some, at least. So, no offense to anybody. Doing good. What about yourself? Yes, really nice to have you here. I checked out your editing and that. I haven't fully watched the video, but then there was only 2 to see. But I think I still have it open, so I should check it out. I get it. We're all different. Like you mentioned, I have to be close to people, and I think a lot of them skip. Oh, really? Yeah, that's the thing. I guess that's the other thing. Would you rather someone call you pretty than ugly? Would you rather someone be a little bit sensitive to the perfume or cologne that you're wearing than sensitive to he doesn't shower and he's coming out amongst people in public, which isn't a great mix? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying that I don't understand people's sensitivity, but I think most colognes and perfumes, they fade pretty quickly, like the smell. And I don't know, I wear them a lot at home, actually. Maybe I'll go put some on now. And I feel quite posh about it. I see you have an artsy place. Yeah, pretty much, kind of a museum-like thing. Not an actual museum. It could be, maybe. Maybe I should start giving tours now. I mean, we have customers come otherwise, and that's been something to get used to. But I had one that I had, and it fell on the ground a couple times, and it's unbreakable glass, but the top came off, and I have to. Let me go get it. Just so I can give a visual. I'll spray myself with some purple stuff that I'm sure you'll enjoy. That's something else you probably have to deal with, Lee, is people that have fragrant products on. But I guess you're not super sensitive to that stuff. I mean, I have Asperger's and you could call me an HSP, but in some ways, but I'm also not. So there you have it. Yeah, so this part comes off. I feel like I left a piece of it out there, actually. But this part doesn't. Actually, it's kind of interesting. Speaking of coming across live streams, I've come across a couple of perfumerists. I think that's what they call them. She does a little bit of that with incense making. But this is called Pheromone Musk. Quick, I need it on. Just kidding. Anywho, this part, I don't know. I guess I could really pry at it and, I don't know, whack it off or something. I don't know. But like I was able to get the other part back on, and there was a bit that had a groove. I don't know if it has to fit into that, but I placed it on, but it kept getting stuck pushed in. And I mean, luckily, this was from a donation center, so it didn't actually cost me really anything from G's work. But look at how much is there. Last night, or the other day, I was looking at it in low lighting, and it didn't really look like there was that much left. But then I looked at it in better lighting. It's like, oh, it's almost full. The only thing I don't like is when people put glue gel in the. Oh, I used to use that as a kid, and then like to kind of touch my hair, except your fingers get sticky, and then like play with the hard bits. I don't know, because I'm weird. I was even weirder as a kid, maybe. I don't know. But or I loved when I had a buzz cut and just kind of get the same feeling from the hat. Actually, just kind of go like this all the time, and other people would too. Good way to be popular. Did you know there's a petrichor? Actually, that's interesting. That word keeps coming up. I was watching a trivia thing, and then there was a couple other things that I saw with that word. And so that, I almost want to give it a moment, see if anybody knows what that is, but people can easily go look at Google, right? That is, I believe, the spell of rain, ironically. And I'm wondering if you're saying that because of Lee Rain. Not to be confused with Lorraine. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? Well, I would hope you've seen rain, because, I mean, it rains everywhere, even a little, I think. Even in the driest of deserts. Which reminds me, I don't know if it's it or not, but there's a movie that I really love called Rat Race. And Mr. Bean is in it, and lots of other famous people. And I came across a Mr. Bean lookalike in a live stream recently. And I was going to say it, and then I realized a whole bunch of people already had. And a couple of people said rip. And I've yet to find out if that's a myth or not. I don't know why people would post celebrity deaths that aren't real. I don't know what people get from that. Or are they posting them because they think that they have? And I mean, that makes more sense. Otherwise I don't really know what how I would describe the smell of rain. I'm not sure if I really notice it having a smell. I notice how it feels, when there's a fresh rain. But yeah. So I feel like I asked this ages ago on here or on my other social media. I don't use a lot of them, but every year I'd love to be able to have some one-on-one email at some point, but we'll say it when we're most comfortable. But what's your favorite smell other than rain? But yeah, the only thing I don't like is when see, like I say, a little bit of everything. I didn't think I was going to come on here and talk about how rain smells, but here we are. And then to expect you to give them a haircut with it on. Do you? This is not meant to sound like a racist question at all, but do you have a lot of customers that are like have dreadlocks, or I mean, those might be easy. I don't know if you do a lot of braiding, or like there's dreadlocks, and I think that's the same as cornrows, or I think that's what they call them. But then, like, I was watching a lovely guy the other day, and he has like, it looked thicker than that. I don't know if it was just because of the way that it kind of looked a bit like that. And at one point, he was kind of looking up in the sky, and it was kind of all there, and it was really cool. Looked like a spider on his head. Just kidding. Mom's pancakes are in the top. Pancakes are pancakes, but yeah, for sure, it's live. You mean so anything can come up? No, I don't braid hair. I do anything like, you don't color it either. What kind of hairstylist are you, or what kind of hair barber are you? I mean, I guess back in the day, people didn't. Maybe you've kept that very vintage way about it, with that stripy pole and the old chairs and decor or whatever. It seems like something just bounced. Oh, right. Right. Oh, yeah, I'm random. I should have somewhat, I guess. But what do you call it? I guess back in the day, maybe people didn't dye their hair as much. So you're like, and you might also be one that maybe feels like it's not a healthy thing for your hair to do. Between you and me, G is not actually originally blonde. If you haven't met him, you will eventually. Um, Maybe on the weekend. I don't know. But yeah, he's not original. He's not an original blonde. He's one of the four non-blondes. You guys know that song "What's Up"? Would you like to hear it, or would you like to hear something else? Um, I'm almost wondering if I could have you on my. I don't know if it would be enough of a topic, though. I mean, obviously, we've been talking about hairstyling for about 15 minutes now, but when I have guests on my podcast, I usually, it's about 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes even a little bit more than that. So if there's anything that either of you or any of you that see this, or even anyone you know, has a cool job or a passion and hobby that's kind of neat, I would love to be doing more, having guests on. I'd have to use the cell phone, but I have a new piece of equipment that will help as well. I don't need headphones and mics. I find them distracting and often probably not necessary, but maybe sometimes. I mean, I see sometimes people use mics and it's like still struggling to hear you, and my volume's up. So long on the top, short on the sides. That's kind of interesting, and it'd be really funny if Kat was watching. And I don't mind if she comments. No from an agency where she maybe feels like she shouldn't, but I don't mind. But I'm happy she's here if she is. Anyway, the point of the matter being is that I was actually talking about someone who kind of had a hairstyle like that, and it's very interesting kind of how I was connected to her in three ways. Three ways, but not that way. It's kind of fun, and we have three of you here and 3 likes, but I think one of you still hasn't liked, though some of those were there before. I think Robin and Lee have, though, so I appreciate that. Robin, Lee, Robin. Anyway, but yeah, I guess you look at European, Italian, like say it was it's interesting when we heard certain names, we see certain people that we've known with that name, right? But what was I going to say? Right, and we are doing that. Yeah, okay. So you've got it mentioned on your channel. Like I said, I'm planning to come check it out, and I'll finish watching that other video too, and hopefully enjoy it. Understand that like we can know what we want to do, but even coming and doing this one, and wow, it's been an hour already. Even coming and doing this one, I hop on. It's like it's saying 5 notifications. It's showing all these other things. Whistle Man is on, and it's like, it's like, what do I do? I'm just going to open this again. I open them all up and get back to them in a month or two. No, just kidding. So anyway, yeah. So what was I saying? I want to do a song. I want a song to do. But yeah. And if I'm doing music, by the way, like, especially if I'm doing music, but I may not care in general. And I mean, this isn't something I'd say to everybody, but for some reason, I'm feeling like saying it to you. And I think that it's important to respect and get permission first for the most part. But there is a part of me that wouldn't mind if you played my podcast. I mean, one thing, you're kind of like that cafe owner I watch. Like, she's very much, about socializing with her customers, and she's very bubbly. But I would also imagine that some of them are more quiet people that, or maybe not as fun to talk with. I don't know how to put it. So but they still deserve the music, right? So if I'm ever doing music and a customer comes in, you're welcome to keep, you're welcome to keep it playing. Or if I'm talking about something that that person finds interesting, and then let them know how to find my channel. That's cool. Wouldn't that be a cool way to be discovered, eh? In one way or another. Oh, I went for a haircut, and now I'm your top fan. No, I didn't know what to think with AI. You never know what to think anymore. It feels like. I mean, some of it's cool, some of it's kind of uncertain. But we've been kind of looking at composing. I was doing this funny thing this morning when I was eating breakfast. I said, "What do you think of my composition?" I was going, slurping coffee, because I'm weird. Anyway, but anyway, no, I mean, this is the first time I saw it was today. Anyway, we could definitely check something out in the future. Yeah. My schedule is pretty flexible these days, even close to the holidays. It's anything that gets planned during the holidays would be kind of a spur of the moment kind of plan. Like I feel mixed because of how they can be sometimes being around my mother and my step. I know G would like to in the G and C, but and the truth is, we're both kind of picky eaters. This might sound weird, but whatever. I don't really like turkey. I really only eat ham on pizza mostly. And any vegans or vegetarians that are hearing this, I get you. I understand. I'm not one that really prepares and cooks a lot of meat myself. It's if I bought it like already made or ordered it from somewhere. Um, I do. I totally get that the idea of vegan vegetarianism. And this comes up sometimes, but at the same time, I'm a bit of a picky eater. If I didn't eat it occasionally, I wouldn't be eating very good. I'm trying to eat better. I eat a lot of carbs, and I eat like a lot of like cookies and dessert things, and as far as but so I mean, I'd be going for mashed potatoes and broccoli, which G doesn't really. Well, he eats mashed potatoes sometimes. The ones in the box he said weren't gritty. Um, okay, good. Yeah, as far as my opinion about that goes, I mean, I don't know why some people. I mean, a lot of them are saying it in a joking manner, but I don't know why some people are so worked up about pineapple on pizza. If people, I mean, it's not like it's the worst thing to like, and if someone likes it, they like it. Um, and not that long ago, I feel like not within this or not since I've known of either of you, I don't think, but not that long ago, I actually was saying topping, toppings a bag. Anyway, I was actually saying that it's kind of the only thing I ever have it on. Maybe I'll even do that today. I have one in the freezer. It's not the same as restaurant pizza, but just got a bunch of them. It might not be one of the stuffed crust ones though, which I might prefer. But I have a bunch of stuff I'm working through in the fridge right now. But no, I mean, um, it's kind of the only thing I see it going on. If anybody sees a Dallas in the chat, by the way, can you let me know, please? Because I have had it in a couple of desserts and I don't mind. But I'm not much of a. I'm honestly, I'm a bit of a fruit, but I'm just kidding. I'm not much of a fruit eating individual. And I believe pineapple's a fruit. I asked G again, remind me, is avocado a vegetable? I can't remember what he said, but I can tell you I'm pretty darn sure tomato is. But apparently, if it grows in the ground as opposed to on a tree, that's how you can differentiate. Just like annual and perennial. Someone was saying, well, birthdays happen every year. Okay, so still, which one is it then? And I said, I made a joke, but I don't think that she read it, but her chat was quite active. I said, mine happens every 4 to 6 years. I'm not a big fan of barbecue sauce on pizza. I'm not a big fan of it really anyway, to be honest. Um, but at times I've been more into it. Uh, Pineapple and barbecue actually kind of does sound kind of interesting. Um, okay, we went from 3 to 1. Which one of you is still here? Or is there actually two of you here and it's just being inaccurate? And by the way, don't forget to like if you haven't. I appreciate that showing up as well. And I'm enjoying the chat as well. I do need to take a bit of a breather though. Just going to toggle over here and hopefully not freeze things up. Oh, right. Do I want to watch that? I don't know. I don't think so. I can't tell if that's a man or woman, but it looks like it looks like. However, I can tell that that's a man, and I would like to watch that. Yeah, you remind me a little bit of a guy I know named Roman, actually. So kind of a similar name too. Chaperone. Chaperone. Oh, 1 minute. I did that wrong. How did I guess I accidentally went backwards. Why does it look a little bit different? Oh, okay. I see. I opened it in the thing. Okay, yes. Black background. That's what I'm looking for. Anybody with a black background, please tune in. Excuse me. uh, any songs you'd like to hear? Any other topics that come to mind? How's your day going? I know that we were talking a little bit about rejection, patience, success, but not very much uh, into those topics. Haven't gotten very much into those topics, is what I'm trying to say. And then it's going to warm up in the afternoon. I'm going to go for a bike ride. So I'm physically up to it, eat some good food, and yeah, I don't think, yeah. There's one thing I mentioned a little earlier. I'm not sure if who's here now heard me mention it. Chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not, and that's not what I was referring to. But he didn't say much about the movie topics. So there's an interesting memory with this song. Speaking earlier about songs with memories, I don't think I like it though. A lot of these are songs that a lot of us remember from movies in childhood. But if you have other requests, you're welcome to put them. Holiday themed or otherwise. That's a really long one. I didn't know that this was in this. I might do this one. Just letting you know, the shorts shine in a better way on my shorts page. Are you saying, and I think it was all that I noticed, are you saying that your YouTube shorts as opposed to your YouTube pants are the videos that you feel are your better videos? Because like I say, I think I only saw 2 in general. Maybe I'm not remembering properly, but I'll check it out again. Open up something else in G's window, you know. I'll close my programish. Oh, wait a minute. That's Lee that's saying that. Okay. Yes, I definitely want to hear you doing more music. For some reason I thought that was Robin. I want to hear, you're like, what's talk about? I have obviously thousands of videos. Thousands upon thousands. Yeah. There's one, I was mentioning one that kind of stood out to me. It's not that I am a widow. I've had many people pass away in my life. I've had exes, but I'm mostly past them. Well, I was watching somebody from Africa the other day, and it made me think of one of them. And also, G has been a widow, and the horse spoke to me because the horse spoke to me, man. No, because my dad worked with horses. It seems like you removed the one comment, maybe not intentionally. I don't know. Just letting you know. Okay, no, I see it there. No, my videos page isn't the greatest, but the shorts I have entitled Shine or A Better Way are songs I recently wrote. Widower's Heart is a decent cover, though. By the way, condolences if you're a widow. You're not a very old one. That happens. I was thinking about my friend Ray the other day, for instance. Sorry if I said that very deeply and quietly and you couldn't hear it. You said it loud and deeply in more ways than one. But yeah, so I'll check her out. Open the shorts. Just have a good time. Northern Lights. A lot of people were seeing those here in Canada. It had to be in certain parts, though. What is this? Just a moment. Something from Rosie. Yes, Mr. Producer, content, please. Appreciated a dream job for me in this industry, like film industry, yeah. But okay. They don't look like your most recent ones, but lots of interesting things to see. Oh, you have a gumball machine? Oh my gosh. Lots of interesting things to see. Feeling overloaded. I'm not. I just like the song. Oh, okay. It looked like it was a bit of a chat too. I think it was a bit of a, more than a song length type of thing. Um, so when's your next client coming soon, or is this your lunch hour? Um, okay, well that's good. I mean, I don't know what your beliefs are about the afterlife, but something I sometimes talk about. In the meantime, I think I might try this song. I think it's going to be pretty easy, and I don't know if I would put this to a different preset style on the keyboard. I don't know if I should do it on the keyboard, on the grand piano, on the guitar. I don't know if I should do it with a background music thing, or if I should just play it because it looks easy enough. For sure, the kids did dig the gumball, big and small, eh? Big and small, they like the gumball. I'm gonna write a song on the spot for a moment. I don't know if it's much of one. I have another one that came to mind the other day. I believe it's in my pocket, waiting for the future to unfold. So let's see what we have here. On the spot songwriting. It looks like you may have left. I hope not, because I was just getting musical. And it may not be great because it's on the spot, but it may not be terrible either. My fingers are a little sensitive to the keys at the moment, though, unfortunately. That doesn't happen super often. Maybe it's my arthritis. Let me try guitar. Are you still there? Are you still there? I hope so. Otherwise, I have to tell you 118. Big or small, they all love the gumball. They have big dreams, and they're waiting for the future to unfold. They are looking in the magic baseball for Samantha, and I hope they find them. I don't know. Popular chord patterns, but didn't sound like anything I'd ever done. I haven't looked it up, but it is might be late in Europe, and maybe his phone died. What else? We started transferring from last night. That's good, right? If I can compile all my ideas into one, that means this, just big long story. Oh, I missed that you said I'm about to roll to lunch. I mean, you could have stayed while you eat, but that's okay. You were here for a while. Longest yet, but you're newly discovered me, so I don't know. I'd like to collab, and then let's give each other credit. So I'm going to add that to, or do I want to? Oh, baby. You'd think that the guitar might be harder on my strings, but I'm pretty used to it, so. Woke up pretty fast this morning, actually. Not bad. what you say. Suddenly I'm right. Of all the I would like to try it on the piano. Maybe if I just do the if I let it mostly be carried by the good. The barber's gone. He won't see my crazy hair. But yeah, I'm glad that it didn't do much, unless they went enough to talk about others. But if I'm just me around home, I don't notice it myself that much. I mean, every now and then you finally feel like you need one, but otherwise, I don't care when I'm with my baby. So if we were to pick styles, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna turn the heat down a smidgen. As I remember, turn it back up. Yeah, then maybe I'll go for the bike ride in there. Then I'll I have to see how I feel. We'll have to feel how I stay. I really like that acoustic unplugged one. You never know exactly what to hit. There we go. They call that an orchestra swing. It's at 70% or 80 tempo. That's at just over 100. Get to know all about you. Get to like you. Getting to hope you like me. It fits with it too much. I mean, you may say, isn't that what you'd want? No, not really, no. I mean, I want to fancy it up, stylize it in a unique way. I don't even know this song super well, but yeah, I guess sometimes people just, their hair kind of doing things in there too in the moment or struggling to manage it. Ugh. 200 it starts that one at. What was it again? Afro-Cuban. Didn't know you. Putting it my way, but nicely. You first nicely. I know. Get to know you. Get to feel free and easy. Then you just listen. You didn't know just start music, and then otherwise you could have just listened and eat. It's all good. Haven't you noticed? all the beautiful new things I learn about you every day by day. Which might not be every day, but whatever. Within reason, of course. Hmm. I'll look through those things. In the next day or two, I'll look through those books and do a bit more with them, and hopefully people will be more requesting Christmas songs as we get closer to it. And then I'll do it. I just wish that this particular piano stand would go higher sometimes so I could stand and play. But it doesn't, so it can do. But I can stand and flip through the music. That I can do. So I'm feeling a little bit cramped. That's kind of funky that happy birthday is right beside that. I'm hearing so much about people's birthdays lately, not long after mine. What's up with you? Heart and soul. Oh, just that short. Okay. Open the skin for a little bit. Beautiful hat on, actually. I feel so naked with it. Sometimes I just don't get very much on the first time. Yeah, that ball of light's gotten a bit smaller. Just a little. Mixed feelings because of Barbie and Penny and a couple other people in that group that isn't happening. Okay, it's getting too quiet in the viewership and in the room. So and then a whole bunch of the preschool group walks past, but they've got them well trained, man. Very quiet, almost awkwardly quiet for a bunch of young kids. Like, let them have a little fun on a very nice mid-November day. Which reminds me, I'm going to get my fun jeans ready to go. I have to move, so I get there shortly. Yes, they do. Yes, that is correct. I do. That and that and that. And that. There we got the. I'm not too sure. But if I'm ready to tell her about what I call it, but it's not something that I really keep under wraps either, so I don't know. I guess the best thing to tell her is just come check them out. It's hard to know what's. I mean, we talked about just kind of YouTube community and stuff a little bit the other day, but other than that, what else? I mean, it's hard to get so specific when there's so many great videos and topics and experiences and stuff. I don't ask me. I don't like that. Get the stuff. Get the stuff. It's neat. You think my collection's complete? You think I'm the one who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Here you think, yes, you got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got oozes and what's it galore. You want thingamabobs, I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. That kind of works, actually. Sort of. Where is that peanut butter? We're just some Christmas practicing together, man. But like, oh, we do a lot of Christmas music. We forget it because we don't do it a lot through the year. Then it might be like, okay, let's get these 2 gigs happening, baby. I like that idea. Hopefully, life lets us live it out. I don't know if that's fake or not. I certainly haven't been recommended to an oral surgeon anytime at all recently, unless the wait was just really long and I'd forgotten, but that's odd. Yeah, let me ever do music because otherwise I don't know the things I talk about until I talk about them. Could be talking about rain. Wow, that would be really actually funny if rain walked in. There's somebody that I think subscribes and follows, but is very rarely here. Because my rain. He's probably like, oh, if I leave, it's up to the company. Maybe I do, but still. You have to rain off. One of you let me know, the other one was kind of abrupt. But I like the individual, so I'll try and look past it. Succeeded. See, be a good person, you be pleasant. Even if your name is a bit of a trigger to somebody. Especially mild things. They're easier to forgive, right? For Schneisel. This one still does work. Maybe I'll give myself a little spritz. Yeah, that's the first time we'd heard of those two, that's for sure. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, what's on the contract? Sorry. Yeah, I wasn't thinking to go for a bike ride for another 2 hours, but we'll see. If I'm feeling it before then, I'm feeling it before then. Then I can say, okay, good, I got it in. Those lines are back on my feet. Weird. And, Monday. Slightly worried about a bike issue happening. Well, actually, recently, if I don't see one otherwise, I recently saw a pump here. It might be, but it's big enough. And if the other one's smaller, I'd like it. I don't know if that's why we put this here. He really should be bringing his when he goes to work. But I just won't go far. If I have to walk it back, I walk it back. And I guess if I really, really have to, I can see if I can get somebody to give me a ride with it back. Because I know it totally belongs to me. It was actually left on our property. quite a while ago, and his brother was so much stuff going on, and I mean, it was just one of those moments. Where, and now I've kind of changed the look of it a little bit, but it was thinking about it now. A lot of times that is what I do, and I mean, like with the skates, it didn't make any difference. The person didn't speak up. I think I made 2 posts even. Um, and the keys, but this was actually before that. It's true, so I didn't know. But I guess I was initially going to leave it at a business nearby. And then I very quickly thought, you know what? And, as a non-driver, like I'm not one that's going to go steal anybody's bike, but as a non-driver, I was like, oh, I think I've just got myself some wheels. That could be handy. But again, the way that the thefts are, it's like, it's easier to steal a bike than a car. Well, unfortunately, things can happen with either of them, and if people aren't making good decisions. But it was on a property, and I was like, okay. I guess I just looked at it as I got a free bike that I didn't steal. And yeah, thinking about it now, but again, like I've changed the look of it a little bit now. I've ridden it quite a bit, so and actually I seem to remember it was the tire was off the rim. So yeah, maybe they just had a hard time because that was the way they were getting it home. I may have made a post about it. I don't remember. Come to think of it, I may have, because I think I did realize, yeah, that they couldn't drive it, so or ride it, if they couldn't reach anybody to pick them up or didn't ask a random person to help out, then which I'd feel mixed doing. But if I have to, if it means I don't have to, battle from too far away trying to get it back home, if something happened and the tire wouldn't inflate again, then I probably would do it. Take a chance, get to know somebody in the neighborhood. There's some people in the group that are blocked, but there are other people that seem like decent people. So, and I mean, yeah, so I don't want to struggle any more than I need to. So, but yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you're talking about, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I need a pulling thread as I pull this, like a magic trick. Yeah, actually, I was initially planning to do a video during when I would have been at that group I don't go to anymore. So it's technically been underway for about half an hour. I'm going to have to plug her in soon, or at least it looks like it. Let me see for a moment here. But I can totally do that. 37%. Okay. So I could probably get a song or two in if I wanted to. But yeah, so basically, yeah. So I couldn't do it now. I don't remember if I did it then. It probably would have been the right thing to do, but I explained it as best as I could have. And say, I got this bike and it's not winter yet, and it's really lovely to have it. And sometimes you just have to get it tuned up. It's not usually super expensive. So, like, I'm going to definitely need it during the summer. If I need to fix anything up about it, I'll do so. Still it's hard because you have to worry about the vehicles on the street, and you have to drive with traffic, and I can't just drive around freely. But it's still, and there's always intersections, and they're often on down slopes, which is very fun. But yeah, I think I definitely will do that soon. I don't think I'm gonna roar for as long as I did the other day. Like that was a record long stream, but I have done close-ish to that before. But I don't think I'm gonna do that today because I was gonna wait till about noon, well, maybe 1 o'clock, to do my bike ride. Somebody very briefly, did you hear me perk up a little bit? But I don't know. Maybe I'd like to do it sooner. I wouldn't like to leave the dog upstairs for too much longer. But I'm probably only going to go for a half-hour bike ride. So anyway, I'm going to do a song that I have open here. You're welcome to have song requests. I do a lot of styles. I guess, someone here, I will say that I don't do metal. I do hard rock. I don't do, like, okay, that's all I listen to. Bye. That's how it came across. But anyway, I'm actually going to put it here. Oh, but either it came back. Not until now. Leave it at that. Hard rock, sure. Semi-blues, jazz stylings, and anything else. It looks like there was somebody there, then they left after a few seconds, and somebody else came, or the same person maybe, and left after a few seconds. And I'm like, make up your mind. I'm like, stick around, relax, stay a while, have some fun, enjoy some music, enjoy some water, soul quenching water. A little bit of water there, but not much. I don't imagine anybody's going to be watching into this point, but I just have a bit of a tight chest, and I'm trying not to take Tylenol. I shouldn't have done that because it may have stretched my collar, but didn't seem to. Yeah. Although I do have, they were a cheap variety, but I bought them. I have them, just like these meds that, were kind of a very brief need. Probably got way more than we needed prescribed to us, and I don't know if they do it by weight, but yeah. I feel like I'd like to give them to somebody. And I know people may have certain opinions about that, but certain things I think are okay. Like Tylenol's pretty generic. The other one, I think they're okay. But anywho, I feel like I need to do some movement and some groovement, and that would be an improvement. So it's not a lot of room here, but what I could do is move this. The dog knows I'm home, but I think he knows that I just want to be out of the way, not making noise. And, I love him, and cute and everything like that, but I think he just knows that we wanted to be able to focus, and maybe I changed my mind, but he's pretty comfortable there, so. But I'm not going to go super much longer. Okay, now, I was looking at this, and it only dropped a couple percent, so it's not bad. I kind of want to wait to do this song, though. Oh. Oh. I'm not hungry, though. I ate pretty good this morning, so I'm not ready to eat again yet. So... Well, I kind of did do a little bit of that song. I don't know if I want to keep this view or what view I want to give it. The pillow on there doesn't seem to mute it very much, though. I have the pillow sitting on the one corner of the speaker and the laptop sitting on that. Part of me kind of likes that I don't have to turn to the side as much, which is fine when I'm chatting, but that it's a bit more kind of almost on center as much as it can be, and a little bit closer and intimate. Just kidding. But look at, there was somebody there for a few seconds that left. But I'm going to give this a try. Oh, and then I have to plug this in and stretch, all that good stuff. There's a part of me that's a little unsure about this styling choice, the style preset choice. I don't know if anybody's likely to see this far in, if they're not already here, and they aren't by the looks of it. But part of me is thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. I really don't know. I don't know. But there's lots of people sitting on the internet in different time zones in the world, so where are y'all? Watching other videos, right? No, just kidding. Okay, perfect. So let me know what you think of this style preset. And if you're like, I don't really know if it works. I mean, it's not supposed to sound exactly like the song, but close. If you're like, maybe find another one, I can do so. This one's, it's not actually even really a genre. Okay, at least it looks like it is. It's actually called Soul Brothers. So didn't get very much the previous time. Oh, there's all kinds of lotions over here. Good golly, Miss Molly. It seems faster than it was a moment ago. I may have pressed the button. Around here, you think she has everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got rulers and watches galore. You are the thingamabobs, I got plenty. But you care, no big deal. Not about materialism, though. Would it be with it? I wanna see them dancing, walking around on them. What's that word again? Feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for winging it, that's wings. Winging it, that's wings. Jumping, dancing on all those. What's that word again? Street. I don't know if I like it though, really, when I think about it. So I'm gonna noodle with. I know it's gonna be a bit busy, but I'm gonna noodle with this just a little bit more, and then I'll have to go over there and do things and all that stuff. Looking around here, look very low. Then it should be alright. Looking around here, yeah, you got everything. I got everything right here. You are thinking about, I've got plenty, but who cares? No big deal. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see them walking around on those. You call them again, please. Flipping your fins, you won't get too far. Legs are required for jumping. I don't like how that's coming across, actually. Just to let you know, in case you're wondering. But what I am going to do is plug this in. Ow! Trip over something. I'm just worried that it might die before it's as low as I think it should be when it does so. Yeah, that would have been better if we used these, but no, we still weren't used to. I don't even remember the other dark one. We don't want to put the dog in it, we just want it to be vegan shortly. Or bring them down and then put them away again. What I meant. Oh, oh, oh. Hmm. Nice when there's some activity though in the chat, even if the people aren't still here. And the likes, and it's like I want to keep it rolling, baby. I feel like we're a little bit ahead of yesterday's. Again, it's about how much are you enjoying it? What's the quality? What's the what's the content? And what's the conversation like? But I mean, if I'm comparing it to the other day, I think that we got a couple people in here before we got to the hour mark, if I remember, that were helping make it a lovely experience. And then yeah, the likes added up a bit faster. I think it took about 2 or 3 hours. I hate to say it, but again, algorithms and so much on YouTube is my reason. But no, I mean it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. That's for Schneider sticks. But that you know, or I mean, in some ways, even if it doesn't seem exactly right. But yeah, so basically, yeah, yep. So I just plugged in the laptop. It was not super low, but getting there. Gave me a couple notifications, so I didn't want to stay by the keyboard because I don't have an adapter plug over there. Looks like the viewer left, so I won't continue. Be a little bit disappointed when I didn't play in the background, but I guess if she wants to spend the time with her kids too, I do understand that. I mean, it could still be in the background, but it's okay. It's okay. Maybe they didn't want. Maybe her phone doesn't stay charged very well, and she didn't want it to die or nothing. Actually, speaking of, this one's got to be plugged in. I should have had it plugged in when I wasn't even using it. It was fully charged a couple hours ago. Well, wow, actually, seven around. Well, actually, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I didn't have it plugged in overnight, but it was at about 60 or whatever. And I was watching something plugged in, and I don't think I did anything after that. Yeah, again, unless it's in your own chat, it's hard to sometimes click the chat, which I do and don't like that. But it would be, I don't know if Emma already subscribed last time. I was just here, but and it was a while ago, so it wouldn't be in watch history. Like he's someone who might want to be here, but maybe doesn't know how to find the channel if didn't subscribe. So that's unfortunate. I could have retold. I mean, I don't think examples of that high, but one thing I could do maybe, I don't know, is oh, okay, never mind. I'd have to go back to it, and I don't think it would. I don't think that would work because I'd sometimes it does seem to depend what device you're using. Those 1 minute, maybe it would. Kind of want to watch that a little bit too. but he said it was uploaded. But even if it's a live stream, it's still uploaded. And he said it's there, but it wasn't there. So I don't know what's going on. I've noticed it a few times. I wonder if people are accidentally privatizing their videos when they're wrapping them up. What am I looking for? You know, things? Probably. I don't think he minds hugely.
Hey, what's up,
this
everyone?
Is Lee.
About to go through an easy song on the guitar over here. Gonna grab that in a second. But I just want to start out by saying, like, the songs I put on here are gonna be very simple. Not gonna try to get too overcomplicated. Because what I'm putting out is for people that are just now learning. Like,
okay, well that's not me.
I'm always gonna explain.
Yeah, maybe I'll check out those shorts. There's other things I want to check out about. Yeah, and unfortunately on the phone it doesn't show the live chat. But yes, he said a specific couple of them. To be honest, I probably shouldn't do it while doing this, but and he said they were recent, but I'm not seeing those unless it's the title that I'm not looking for. Yeah, it's also happening when I'm getting a little bit bored sooner, but I mean, you know, I still have lots of time to go for a bike ride, make my phone call if I want to, get around to lunch. You know, like it's not like it's anything that, you know, so fine. Yeah, actually, how to get in that live thing is actually pretty easy now. But it's not if it's these kind of things. That's the only thing. None of these people are still alive. I guess they only roll in the evening. I don't know. It's weird. Hmm. Okay, well, there's Tara at least.
Thank you so much. I love that song. All right, the next song we're
Lamina, hi, Clark.
How long? Louisiana was I have not been active on Instagram for a while now. I don't go on Instagram at all.
It's a sweater. Kind of like a Christmas sweater. Of course, she's ready. I don't know what that was about. Okay, I get it. Interesting. Interesting. This guy was talking in. I mean, people speak more than one language. He was talking in one language, and then he had a song playing in the background, and then he's saying it in English. I mean, I guess, sure. Mm-hmm. He looks very high and almost asleep. Unless I paused it. Well, that could be part of it. It's like sitting very still. But still, he looks very high. Unless he's lying. But there's no like audio. Well, actually, there might be. No, it's not so. What's this guy talking about? This is how you scroll. This is how you scroll and give people a chance.
Or your first home, and that's up to 60,000 each, and you do not pay taxes on it. So now you have 60,000 each from your RRSP.
Talking about financial stuff, and that seems a little bit odd to me.
Handmade.
It's a lot like Margaret.
Gemstones from the Ogilvy box. Which I want to get back into that. I want to these are my drawer, I just never wear them. This pretty royal blue.
Is this much in?
Oh no, I like royal blue.
In case you're going to read my comment but not say anything? That's kind of odd. I mean, we're going to not say a comment here, but speaking of rude, kind of rude to ignore someone when they comment, especially if you've looked at it. So, although I really don't, maybe that's triggering something within me, but I don't like that either. So, okay. You're just putting on bracelets. I think you could read comments while you're doing so. Bye, Felicia.
I was watching her last night. While I was waiting, I had somebody to pick up the ear. That woman like the whole hour. Yeah, I'm sitting up in there a whole hour. And, it's cold outside, so I'm like, I'm standing outside when they go walk around.
Now it's okay with me, nah. Now it's okay with my son.
I don't like those ones that say stick to the topic, maybe because I jump around so much. Challenge the argument, not the person, but what you're challenging what the person is saying. So you're kind of challenging the person and being civil. I don't know. It's kind of odd rules. I think it's a cake. It might be a hat. It looks like it says Earth Day. Green.
Wow, look at the cake. Look at this cake. Look at
Oh, this person's making teapots. That's kind of interesting. I mean, briefly. I don't know if it'd be interesting for a long amount of time. But I very quickly saw a fellow Canadian in the chat. And that was kind of interesting. I must admit. Oh, it's actually showing quite well with the lighting. I don't usually do this, but I'm bored and I didn't want to wrap up yet. So.
I'm Winnipeg.
I thought I mentioned that in the chat.
Yes, in Winnipeg. This is pumpkin. Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, thank you. What happened? Nice. You selling sleeping balls. Oh, I made this. I can show you. This not a fire yet. This that's an I made one for the cup. Oh, okay.
I haven't met a lot of people of that culture. May sound odd, but I haven't. Just seem not amazed, but the algorithm, so you find out once. Then
Okay, I will. I will.
I don't think it was very clear where she said she was from, but
Good man, November day here. I just the first time to take the life. Because nobody know me. I made it. I want the more people know it.
I'm getting a little bit hungry.
You are in Toronto? Like this, so
This is the only telephone. Oh no, actually that one. I can guess what she looks like. Probably, sorry, that may sound a certain way, but probably looks like a pretty standard Asian girl. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying I don't need to see it. Somebody who's in their 30s should miss their 20s unless they were terrible. I'm a little bit hungry. Maybe we'll have a bit of cookie. I did pretty good not having sweets this morning, but it's hard not to. I have a piece of it in there. Let's have that. I must say, this is nice if I can get the chat not to show. That's a little bit different than the one she showed earlier. It's an elephant with an elephant on its back, a baby elephant. I must say, though, I think $500 is a little bit much for it. Sure, you had to sculpt it a little bit. And it's almost one of those things that almost looks like it's pre-made, but somebody, I mean, it doesn't look like it's machine-made. Somebody has to make it. You put that thing on the back with some letters, put the other thing on it. That actually doesn't look like I guess it's a handle. It's more like snake. And, that's weird. Let me just check something for a moment. Okay. No, that is weird. Maybe she's one that doesn't like self-promotion, but we all gotta promote ourselves a little bit and help each other out. And I'd asked her if she'd subbed yet, and it seems like she deleted that comment. And this guy just shaving his hair on camera. For some reason I'm not sure about. Kind of fits the theme. Oh, I did hear. Oh, wow. $28 people, 28 subscribers. I have a very interesting update to give some people if they've came back to this in Europe. I don't know what time it is. The other guy might. Wow. Okay, just a minute. Hmm. $12.16. So okay. I really don't know. I mean, I guess maybe he just wants company and to chat while he's shaving his head, but I really don't know why. Otherwise, one would live stream that. Here's a monk that's very, very still in his movements. It isn't quite dressed like him. Why people are so cling to reality due to attachments, relationships, whatnot. I mean, we can't but live in life. Whatever we cling to makes us suffer. Not necessarily. There's a background noise that's a little bit distracting right now. Mr. Steely Beef. Just going by the names of this person's admins. It was so funny to have that thing. Whoops. To have that thing in common with what's his name's admin. All three I've seen, although that was not so bad. Kind of make me think. Nope. This is another one. It looks like it's either somebody shopping in a store or somebody working, and it looks like they're shopping in a store because they're heading towards the door. Okay, I have seen this channel before though. Sounds like a guy. I thought this was the one with the lady in the tank top, tankini. Spouting opinions that we all have, and I didn't necessarily disagree. I've almost got to share that. But he hasn't. He's not near his lunch hour. He was away for a week, so I'll wait. I hope to share it here. Am I still watching this? Never mind. I know what some people might say. We're both left, but I don't say that. Bear, go. Hello. I mean, people that are religious will say that Jesus is king. And not every religious person is hateful, so I should, in various ways. So I should give this person an opportunity. But he was just doing on these hand rest thingies, handstands. I was hoping for a bit more in this video, but it's not bad.
Yeah, this guy.
I'm just not really ready to wrap up yet, but I'm seeing these.
Well, my grandpa is, but missed a message. I subscribe, appreciate you. No. That boy, it's like throw it. I was like, bro. I don't think that's crazy. I might, if you want to.
Take care.
Canada, how are you? Yeah, Tom, I appreciate you.
Not enthusiastically said, but cool. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you.
You a cowboy? Oh, no. So did you say you in DC? I'm in Virginia. We keeping chosen today. I don't care. More views. Or are you visiting a farm? Done. What's up, the cool sample? Let's see. Because I've never been to Canada. I've been to Pennsylvania. I mean, I've been into like the countries where it gets real British in America for some reason. But no, I was raised in North Carolina, born in Virginia. Virginia now, but Pennsylvania. I've been to New York. I'm never going back though. Why do I keep the chosen more views for me? Wish I had something like that. Even if I did have Jewish in me, I got probably some Greeks. I got Russian, German, Scottish, Irish, Cherokee, Native American. No, maybe I got Jewish in me. If I did, I wouldn't know.
Russian? No. Scottish.
Why does it matter? I'll follow everything that the Jewish people know, especially East Orthodoxy. That's cool. You know Gojo? Man, I'll be beating
Anyway, I'm kind of distracted. I'm kind of liking this guy. He's reading the chat. He seems laid back, even though go for different reasons. Some of them are just too much with it. But he seems cool, although the video is skipping. So let me just see. Oh, it's back. I feel a little bit mixed about playing, but I'm 2.5 hours in. I'd like to have a bit more chats on mine, and then I'd like to go for my bike ride, and then I'd like to come home and let the dog out for the rest of the afternoon. I mean, if he's cool with this, we're cool. This is on the roof looking. You can see his mouth.
Okay. Appreciate that. The fly number would not leave him alone. He was like, what's up, official artist? How you doing? If you see me go in that barn, don't shoot me, please, if you have a gun. Appreciate your appreciation. I'm most rather so good. If I'm going to stay YouTube, brother, God bless you. Adios, no sé, cara. Sure. Can you sub? Yeah. Zon will sub to you. Right there. Yeah. Looking at you right now. That's cool, bro. Hope you're enjoying the view. What's up, Barika? Yeah, you can shout box. Shout box. Yeah. I love the native Indian reference for this. I mean, I got.
Who's calling? Oh, hello? Hello? Sorry. I thought I forgot to press the button when I answered. What's up? Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks for calling because I was possibly in about an hour going to go for a bike ride. I'll either do it before or wait. I thought I'd just share a couple of things with you since you called. By the way, one, I was looking at the live stream today of City. She seems to be a creator of carved teapots. One of them was looking like an elephant, and another, a couple of them, but they were kind of pots. Just made a friend from my young religious guy in Kenya. But what possibly most cool, I don't know, they all are, is there's been you may remember I was following a guy who was in India and was kind of like a gypsy traveler and did travel videos and stuff like that. Yeah, this morning and I've been in one of his videos very briefly playing piano. This morning he said that he'd be happy to be on mine, and I thought he was still somewhere in the Middle East, and I emailed him actually and told me it was very time. Nobody else was watching at the time. Actually, nobody, I felt comfortable whatever time, whatever, maybe he was on mine or whatever. Anyway, the point of the matter is, he told me that he's actually in Canada. I said, I don't know if he's coming this way or not, but and he's available to do the podcast Friday and Monday. I said Friday would work, but then I also said if you're coming, near where I live, maybe we can do it in person. So that'd be wild. Yeah. How's it going then? Okay, cool. Start the day, man. By the way, out of curiosity, oh, now it's just me here. Advertise it. Hi, was just wondering, is this somebody that has contacted us previously? No, okay. And then we have that other guy that's been here before, booked for next week. So, Yeah. He sent a message that is thumbs up, and then he confirmed it this morning, but it's still sitting as unread. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Talk to you later. Bye. All righty. Okay, so where things stand. Okay, well, you may have heard some of that in the update, although I don't believe anyone was here, but I don't know because I wasn't on the screen at the time. I'm a little confused what to do right now. I've got somebody stopping by in a little while. To yeah, I've got somebody stopping by. I think I'll leave the dog out there then because of that too. It might be cool with dogs, and if they have, you know, actual- I don't know, but I kind of want to watch this. Nobody else is here right now. I'm just gonna listen while I look and see if there's a viewer because I'm worried he might put this afterwards, and then I won't be able to hear it as well.
I appreciate it. Look behind you, I don't need to. Very good. So cool. Thanks for getting on. You so I will. I'll post music. Love and support. You see, diverse. I don't know if I can go to the chat. Yeah, I'll just screenshot it. See. Streamer. I'm sharing that morning here. What on? Hell yeah. Voice bridge. I'm a sniper set over here. Somebody got fast, brother. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that guy was just joking. A little bit twisted too, but he was just joking. He just showed his tech. I don't know why some people want shout outs.
What's up, Jeffrey? What's
What?
up? What? I think a bird crashed me pretty well. Yeah, what's up?
This is weird.
Impressive, man. Appreciate it. That's a good way to get blood to your brain.
Never seen a carpenter bee land on anyone in 44 years. It's a little when I click this commenter, it shows a little blurb with his info. I don't see blood, but I do see hide user. What, do they no longer have that feature?
They absolutely love me. You just chilling? This is awesome. I'm very comfortable right now. Okay. I mean, you're pretty cool, bro, but you got to get my handstand thing, you know? So you gotta get kind of like. You're also very nice to me, also. That, alright, he's just gonna hang out with me.
Admins can see when someone's been
Very comfortable.
weird.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
That's all those people are idiots.
He's literally laying on my arm right now.
It did not hide them. Now it shows a black option. Very weird.
My offended with voicemail, but whew, that's over. You know, when you have a good soul, you start to connect with nature a little too much. Shadow, but it looks like a big, no, it's not. It's not a big cloud. You're also going to see himself for Tuesday. I mean, because what you mean by that? Like, from India, what time is it there? I'm from America. It is currently 12:34. A lot of Indian people in the chat, yeah, I don't know why I check a lot of those people.
I hope I don't find out something we don't want here.
Carpenter be like on there once for years. Blessed. I appreciate it. Cheers, that's good. Just back up. Last things for them. Indian as well, only 1/4. I'll feel you today. What's up, Sons? I don't hide out like that. It would for his good if he wasn't one shot.
But even non-admins.
Long arms, in good shape, bro. Yeah.
Oh, just getting to that now.
I don't know. I have to change. He doesn't care if they're trolling more views than us yet. When it wants to be stung.
Anyway, my focus is really on this. He's more behind than I realized, but he likes to get really odd usernames, but anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up. I have someone coming over shortly, and I'm doing this now, and yeah.
I'm not controlling those people it is yet.
But I would hate for him to watch from the end to hear and be like,
here, I'm on you, bro.
I'm from the
only sting
middle to here.
If you're aggressive or show fear, yeah. I'm messing with them facts. All this water coming off the top of my nose for some reason.
That's kind of odd. Guess you should be listening to this in headphones. Really does have long arms. Just show it. Try to cover that very bit. Try not to, but not going to show very well. Not that there's more light coming in or not, or whatever, but it doesn't seem like it wants to pick it up. Okay, there, kind of. But then he does this, like, beat together, legs bent kind of move. Anyway. That lady might be a bit sooner than in an hour. And may need a few minutes beforehand. But yeah, you have to have pretty strong arms to do that.
My butt's tired, bro.
Okay, get it up, I think. You said it too long. Don't really watch it.
I'm tired.